Hey everybody. I just wanted to just hop on here this afternoon before I go. I've got my group coaching call at 6 with my communication transformation folks. And Facebook is giving me tech issues again, so I hope I'm live. Um, I wanted to just you guys a little bit about I usually on Fridays I upload some kind of a quote, inspirational quote. And the one that I uploaded on Friday, I basically said seek first to understand versus or before being understood. And I got a couple of comments on it and a couple of messages. And so I wanted to just hop on here and talk to you guys about what that means. So you guys are here because you believe that you are in a autism spectrum relationship. Either you think you're on the spectrum or you think your partner's on the spectrum. Somebody may be diagnosed formally or maybe not. So I'm speaking to you as autism spectrum couples, or maybe you are single and you are autistic and you're here because you're looking to try to understand how to be successful in your relationships. So in that context, what I teach those of you who are in my communication transformation program, whether you're accessing it through the self study or you're in the coaching group, is that when you interact with one another, you are bringing a lot to these interactions. That's stage one of communication. It's what you bring to it. It's our values, our beliefs, our expectations, our goals, um, what we expect to happen in that interaction, what we're hoping to achieve from that interaction. And then when we actually interact, we have this way of communicating with each other. And those of you in spectrum relationships oftentimes are very much misunderstanding what's actually being said because you use language differently. Those of you on the spectrum are more likely to be very literal in the way you communicate. Those of you who are neurotypical are going to use a lot more figurative, metaphorical language, and you're going to use body language. You're going to look for body language cues, nonverbal cues that those of you on the spectrum may miss. And because of this, this leads to a lot of misunderstanding, and you walk away. Stage three of communication is the meaning you take away from the interactions. And so many of you, most of you, are walking away from those interactions with very different meanings. So you don't know what you don't know what your partner has actually been trying to communicate to you, and your partner doesn't know what you've been trying to communicate. And then stage four is how we remember it and how we recall it. And you're going to recall it and remember it very differently if you have different meanings. So when I say seek first to understand, I'm talking to both of you. I'm talking to those of you who are neurotypical, and I'm talking to those of you who are autistic. Because what we do, what we learn in communication transformation is we learn to listen to our partner to hear and understand and clarify what we're hearing. Because most of you are making assumptions that you know what your partner means, or is sometimes you assume you know what your partner is going to say even before they finish. And a lot of us are guilty of thinking about our own response while our partner's actually talking. And so, what I teach everybody in communication transformation is how to listen, to understand your partner, and then to reflect back. This is what I heard. This is what I'm hearing. This is what I think I understand you to be saying. Am I getting that right? And then whoever is speaking gets the opportunity to clarify whether or not that's coming across right, or if you're understanding it clearly. And we learn how to do this back and forth and back and forth. And you guys, I do this with couples on my private coaching calls, and it's hard. I have to walk them through it, model it for them. It's not the natural way of the dialogue. It's not the natural dialogue for so many of you. So when I say that to seek first to understand before being understood, the word understand what I'm meaning there is to interpret, to be aware of what your partner's saying, to interpret, to discern what your partner is actually saying. I am not using that word understand in terms of acceptance, tolerance, to be tolerant of what's happening to you, to sometimes we use the word understand. We say that we're very understanding. We're an understanding person, or I understand, meaning we're accepting some kind of behavior toward us. We're trying to make sense of something that really doesn't make sense in a way without clarifying. So I'm not referring to acceptance and tolerance of um, understanding maybe that someone was in a, to excuse. I'm not using the word understanding to excuse behavior. I'm using it in terms of clarifying, to seek clarification from your partner before you assume that you know what your partner means. So I wanted to clarify for you guys what that expression was when I put that up for you Friday. That is the way that we really truly get to the root of the interactions and the miscommunication that you guys are having. Some of you responded in a way that was negative in that you said you felt like, well, if you're in an abusive situation or if someone's being oppressed, um, that seeking understanding to try to understand that behavior toward you um, isn't what needs to happen, and I totally agree. And so what I'm referring to here is not about when when behavior is abusive or when behavior is hurtful. I'm not encouraging you to be understanding or excusing. What I'm talking to is when you are having an interaction with a partner in a way that's a non-toxic interaction, seek to clarify from your partner what you're hearing so that to seek that understanding. And some of you have said, well, I'll do it, but my partner won't. And I get that. I've been there. But you can only control you. You only have control over you. But the thing is you have 100% ultimate control over yourself. And you can change up the way you interact with your partner. And oftentimes, when you change up the way you interact, it changes up the entire relationship because you're doing something differently. And your partner oftentimes is like, oh, okay, this is new. Um, and you, again, though, you can only do what you can do. And you guys, I talked about deal breakers before, and well, if you don't know, my position on that is we at some point we have to make our own choices if our partner won't ever seek to understand us. But what I want you to do is to start with you and to seek to understand your partner in each single interaction, communication, conversation, clarify, ask for help understanding, define words. Some of you um, use words, actual words, differently. Words, phrases, expressions, you have different definitions for their meaning, and you don't even realize it because one of you's got a neurotypical way of approaching language, and the other one's got an autistic way of approaching language. So seek to clarify. So I wanted to clarify that for you guys. If you have any comments on this, drop it in the feed down here. I don't think I see any right now. So I hope, let me look at Facebook really quick before I sign off. The publisher, you guys, does not show me if you're talking to me. It's so frustrating and annoying. But while I'm pulling that up, just I hope that this was a little bit clarifying for you. Okay, no, I don't see any comments. So talk to me in the comments, and let's get some discussion going about it. And I'll see you guys nope, not tomorrow. I don't think I have live tomorrow, but I'll be seeing you in the discussion in the group throughout the week. Hope you have a great Monday, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.